Gentlemen, if you would please find your seats and take this time to silence your electronic devices, the commissioning ceremony will begin momentarily. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of today's presiding officer, Lieutenant Colonel James Straub, I want to welcome you to Detachment 915's commissioning ceremony at West Virginia University. I'm Cadet Wesley Mills, and I will be today's narrator. I want to first welcome every family member, friend, and those virtually for taking the time to celebrate this milestone in these cadets' military careers. You will be prompted several times to stand during the ceremony and are also free to take as many pictures as desired of the commissionees present. If you haven't already done so, please silence your electronic devices at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors, the national anthem, and the invocation. Color guard, present the colors.
Right. Face. Forward. First.
Dear God, we thank you for allowing us to gather together this afternoon to celebrate with our friends and our loved ones. We are grateful for our health and the many blessings you give to us in our lives. Let us not forget how fortunate we are to live in a free country, and we pray for the decisions of our country's leadership. Give us patience in times of stress and strength in times of hardship. We ask especially that you watch over our troops around the world who serve to keep the freedom we often take for granted. Watch over our troops' safety and keep your guiding presence in our daily lives. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Cadet Melton. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. I am pleased to introduce the staff of Detachment 915, which include today's presiding officer, Lieutenant Colonel James Straub, Captain Evan Glenn, Captain Maris Glenn, Captain John Hazel, Staff Sergeant Austin Cadd, Staff Sergeant Jeffrey Jackson, and Miss Devin Milam. Today, we are here to honor the hard work and tremendous achievements of our senior cadets as they transition into a new chapter of their lives. As commissioned officers, they will become leaders, managers, problem solvers, and planners who lead their airmen in all situations. The officer corps comprises of less than 20% of all active duty Air Force personnel. The program and path to their current point has been both strenuous and competitive. Each cadet has put in over 1,500 hours of academics, physical training, and leadership scenarios, not to include the countless hours dedicated to the cadet wing positions they have held. This is 1,500 hours more than the typical WVU student earning the same degree, and is a feat that deserves a round of applause. We will now begin the commissioning of the class of 2022. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of these cadets. In view of these special qualities, their demonstrated potential to serve, they will now be commissioned as second lieutenants in the United States Air Force. At their request, several individual cadets will now recite the oath of office administered by their special guest. To start, Cadet Matthew Shivnen will be sworn in by his father, retired Colonel John Shivnen of the U.S. Air Force.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Matthew Tristan Shivnen,
Having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
that I will and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Next, Cadet Ariana Porter will be sworn in by retired Captain Dan Simons of the U.S. Navy. Yes, sir.
Right hand, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Ariana Marie Porter,
Having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed as second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United
against
States
all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation
without any
freely
mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the
of
duties
the office upon which I am about to enter.
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Next, Cadet Scott Kendrick will be sworn in by his father, retired Lieutenant Colonel Alan Kendrick of the U.S. Air Force.
I state your full name.
I, Alan Scott Kendrick Jr.,
Have been appointed a second lieutenant of the United States Air Force.
have been appointed a second lieutenant of the United States Air
Do
Force.
solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely,
That I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of which I'm about to enter.
of the office of which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Next, Cadet Lynette Vogel will be sworn in by her mother, Captain Maria Vogel of the U.S. Air Force. You are, ma'am.
I, Lynette Vogel,
I, Lynette Catherine Vogel,
having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
and that I will
Well and faithfully discharge the duties
well and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Cadets Sabina Gloeckner, Tori Kane, Joseph Kraegenbrink, and Drew Pownall will now be sworn in by Captain Maris Glenn.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Serena Ashland,
Having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Cadets Dylan Pittsnogle, Holden Strausser, Lakin Tucker, and Andrew Zimmerman will now be sworn in by Lieutenant Colonel Straub.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Lieutenant Strausser,
Having been appointed a second lieutenant
having been appointed a second lieutenant
in the United States Air Force,
in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
In addition to their oath, each lieutenant will now have their ranks pinned on by their selected guests and receive their first salute. Leading off, we have Lieutenant Sabina Gloeckner, who is a mathematics major with an Air Force specialty of Air Battle Manager. Lieutenant Gloeckner will have her bars pinned on by her mother, Petra Gloeckner, father, retired Master Sergeant Glenn Gloeckner of the U.S. Air Force, and her brother, retired Staff Sergeant Robert Lucenti of the U.S. Army, with her first salute given by Master Sergeant Gloeckner as well. Next, we have Lieutenant Tori Kane, who is a criminology major with an Air Force specialty of intelligence. Lieutenant Kane will have her bars pinned on by her mother, Rhonda Kane, and her father, Robert Kane, with her first salute given by Cadet Kaylee Moss, who is a senior airman in the Air Force Reserves. Next, we have Lieutenant Scott Kendrick, who is a global supply chain management major with an Air Force specialty of pilot candidate. Lieutenant Kendrick will have his bars pinned on by his mother, Virginia Kendrick, and his father, retired Lieutenant Colonel Alan Kendrick, with his first salute given by Cadet Kaylee Moss as well. Next, we have Lieutenant Joseph Kraegenbrink, who is a criminology major with an Air Force specialty of intelligence. Lieutenant Kraegenbrink will have his bars pinned on by his mother, Jamie Kraegenbrink, father, Joseph Kraegenbrink, and brother, Senior Airman Caleb Kraegenbrink, with his first salute given by Senior Airman Kraegenbrink as well. Next, we have Lieutenant Dylan Pittsnogle, who is a Regents Bachelor of Arts major with an Air Force specialty of remotely piloted aircraft pilot. Lieutenant Pittsnogle will have his bars pinned on by his mother, Michelle Cave, and aunt, Samantha Stanley, with his first salute given by his uncle, Master Sergeant Michael Stanley of the U.S. Air Force. Next, we have Lieutenant Ariana Porter, who is a criminology major with an Air Force specialty of intelligence. Lieutenant Porter will have her bars pinned on by her mother, Elaine Porter, father, Bill Porter, aunt, Kate Simons, and uncle, retired Captain Dan Simons, with her first salute given by Tech Sergeant Cassidy Dubois. Next, we have Lieutenant Drew Pownall, who is a biomedical engineering major with an Air Force specialty of combat systems officer. Lieutenant Pownall will have his bars pinned on by his mother, Lynn Pownall, father, Stephen Pownall, and his fiancée, Madeline Suchel, with his first salute given by his cousin, Nathan Pownall, who was a sergeant in the U.S. Army. Next, we have Lieutenant Matthew Shivnen, who is a criminology major with an Air Force specialty of remotely piloted aircraft pilot. Lieutenant Shivnen will have his bars pinned on by his mother, Natalie Shivnen, father, retired Colonel John Shivnen, brother, Captain Alexander Shivnen of the U.S. Marine Corps, and brother, Quentin Shivnen, with his first salute given by his brother, Quentin Shivnen, who was a senior airman in the U.S. Air Force. Next, we have Lieutenant Holden Strausser, who is a journalism major with an Air Force specialty of cyberspace operations. Lieutenant Strausser will have his bars pinned on by his mother, Julie Strausser, father, Brett Strausser, and fiancée, Hannah Lohman. He has elected to have his first salute be given to him by the first airman he encounters at his duty station. Next, we have Lieutenant Lakin Tucker, who is a civil engineering technology major with an Air Force specialty of aircraft maintenance and acquisitions. Lieutenant Tucker will have his bars pinned on by his mother, Carmen Tucker, father, Steve Tucker, and aunt, Cindy Buckingham, with his first salute given by Technical Sergeant Cassidy Dubois. Next, we have Lieutenant Lynette Vogel, who is a forensic chemistry major with an Air Force specialty with the Office of Special Investigations. Lieutenant Vogel will have her bars pinned on by her mother, Captain Maria Vogel, father, Nick Salloway, sisters, Kendra Vogel and Rayleigh Vogel Salloway, and boyfriend, Dylan Burns, with her first salute given by Jeremiah Martin, who was a specialist in the U.S. Army. Finally, we have Lieutenant Andrew Zimmerman, who is a chemical engineering major with an Air Force specialty of bioenvironmental engineering. Lieutenant Zimmerman will have his bars pinned out by his mother, Diane Zimmerman, and his brothers, Kevin and Jack Zimmerman, with his first salute given by his father, retired Technical Sergeant Kevin Zimmerman of the U.S. Air Force. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Straub would like to award each new lieutenant with the Airman's coin to signify their transition from cadet trainee to airman. This is a tradition that is common for all airmen in the U.S. Air Force. Lieutenants, please come forward. Lieutenant Colonel Straub, any final words for our brand new lieutenants?
Please take your seats. Family, friends, loved ones, thank you for coming here today. This was a great opportunity to recognize our newly commissioned second lieutenants in the world's greatest Air Force. So congratulations to each and every one of them. They didn't do it alone. They got here because of all of your support. So you had parents, friends, family members, teachers, coaches, loved ones who contributed to your success. So make sure you thank each and every one of them. I'm going to thank you right now. Thank you. Your officers in the Air Force. It's pretty exciting, right? So I want to just give you some words of encouragement. But before I do, I want to recognize one member who's recognized in the AFROTC enterprise as one of the top 10% in the entire enterprise. That member is awarded the Distinguished Graduate Certificate and the honor for that to carry through in his career, that he graduated from AFROTC as a distinguished graduate, and that is Lieutenant Kendrick.
Thanks, sir.
So before I get off the stage, I want to encourage you, give you some words of encouragement. So first, I want to encourage you to be lifelong learners. You've got a lot of life ahead of you. Treat every moment as an opportunity to learn, okay? Every opportunity is an opportunity to learn. You have people that you're going to be engaging with in the Air Force who have a lot of experience. And any opportunity you take to learn and grow and develop as a person and as a professional will make you a better person and professional, a better officer and leader. I want to encourage you to be leaders who are guided by values, driven by purpose, and focused on the mission. Guided by values, both your personal and professional values, anything that you value. If you know what you value, your priorities will never be in conflict. Driven by purpose, know your why. So as you go through your career, understanding your why will give you something to anchor onto and move forward with. And then focused on the mission. Right? You are going to be the leaders of the tactical edge. Make sure you understand that the effectiveness of your mission is going to be based on your leadership. Take that responsibility for what it is. Don't take it lightly, okay? I want to encourage you to lead with competence, with courage, with the courage of your convictions, and to take acceptable risk. We're in the business of the Air Force where we break things, and we do harm to the enemy. You're going to need to take risk. But remember, you're going to be responsible for the lives of our greatest resource, our people. Know that it's important to speak truth to power. Understand that. Know that you will not sacrifice your integrity and that sometimes you have to protect your leaders from themselves and make sure that you're doing the right thing by speaking truth to power. And lastly, be authentic. Be yourself. Someone once said that leaders, or people don't want to follow leaders who are always right, they want to follow leaders who are always real. Be that person who's real, and they will follow you. Now, I'm encouraged to know that the future of our Air Force is in good hands. I really am excited for what your future holds. So congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this afternoon's ceremony. Please stand for the singing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. You will find the lyrics to the Air Force song in your programs if you would like to sing along. Afterwards, please feel free to offer your congratulations, take photos, and join us for some refreshments in the other room behind you. Thank you. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. And now, give them the gun, give them the gun, hey! And we die, spouting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, or go down in flame. Hey! Nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force. Congratulations, commissioning class of 2022.